Hi, everyone. Brian Shulstad, Managing Director, Bridgemark Strategies. Since 2007, I've been helping advisors explore the best feel, fit, and financial solution for their practice. One of the questions I get quite often is, what is the process in working with a consultant or a third-party recruiter? And the easiest answer to that is simply, number one, engage. You have to begin that conversation. It's important to note that there is no obligation when dealing with a consultant like myself, and that we are ultimately compensated by the firms that we place you with. So there's a budget that's in place with most firms that says, hey, here's a bucket for transition dollars, right? The dollars that you would get as an advisor or a group to make a move. And there's also a separate budget for consultants like myself. And we're compensated out of that second bucket. So this does not affect your transition dollar moving forward. So step one, engage, right? Step two is allow that consultant to learn about your practice, right? We're going to go through an in-depth consultation so you can talk about, how do you manage your money? Where do you envision your practice to, not only today, but in 5 years, 10 years? What's your long range plan? And once we get that breakdown of how your practice operates, then at that point, it comes back onto our plate. Okay, so this is sort of that third step, which is the curation process. We have contracts with over 120 different firms right now, and we've spoken to over 200. But out of that, it makes no sense for you to go out there and speak to all 120 firms. So what we're going to do is curate that list down to a manageable number, somewhere in that 3 to 5 range for initial consultations or discussions with you before we take it to that next step. Then that next step would be, direct conversations with those firms, begin going through the due diligence process, and, somewhat culling from that small curated list. Then at that point, you get to a decision-making time, right? Which firm, if they've hit those 3 categories, do they have the right feel? Do they have the right fit? Do they have the right financial solution for your practice? For you to ultimately make a decision. Hey, is it time to move forward? Or is this something that you want to just have in your back pocket when the time is right? So it's up to you, but that's the basics of the process. The question that comes to us is there an obligation? Once I start speaking to you, am I obligated to make a move? And the answer is no. There is no obligation to make a change if you're working with a consultant. I've worked with advisors off and on for over a decade, and some of those advisors have never made a change, and that's fine. My role is to simply provide that objective information for you so that if the time is right to make a move and it makes sense and you're comfortable with that, then that's the only time that you need to move forward. But there is absolutely no obligation. Here's another great question. How confidential are my discussions with you? And they're 100% confidential. At no time do we discuss who you are, where you're located, etc., until you get the green light, right? And that green light is, hey, I'm ready to begin discussions with that particular firm that we've discussed previously. My job is not to simply take your name and information, etc., and sling that out to every firm in the marketplace, hoping something sticks. That is not what we do. Our role is to be a true consultant, take you through the process, and then when you're ready to begin those one-on-one conversations, that's when you can essentially disclose yourself, right, to that firm. And that firm also understands that level of confidentiality that needs to be had, because this is a small industry. Everyone seems to be 1 or 2 degrees of separation from each other. So confidentiality is of utmost importance at all times. Another great question that we get is, hey, I'm not looking to move, but what else is out there, right? You're curious. You're trying to see, hey, I've got a pretty good thing going right now, but you never know what you never know. So absolutely, feel free to give us a call, hit me up on LinkedIn, etc. Ask any questions that you'd like if you'd like to turn over some stones and explore. That's what we're here for. I'm happy to begin those consulting relationships by just allowing you to know what may be out there for you to anticipate a potential plan B, or to go, hey, I'm not ready to move, but in 4 or 5 years, it would be good to know what I can work towards and what opportunities may exist. So if you know you're ready to take the next steps and engage, or you're just simply curious about what else is out there, my contact information is on the screen. You can either find me on LinkedIn, you can drop me an email or a text, you can even call me directly. Also, you can reserve some time on my calendar. Look forward to connecting. Take care.